Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Dream. This is a sub podcast of the It's All Good show. This is all about EESystem Center owners. And many of you know my story, back-to-back strokes, and Dr. Sandra invited me to Las Vegas, and I was barely able to use a walker. And after 2 hours in her 16 unit, which is in the guest room of her house, because there were not so many centers around the country at that time, I was able to walk unassisted. And so my love for EE System and great honor and respect for Dr. Sandra goes back a good solid number of years. And so this is just a natural offshoot of this to interview system owners all over the country. And many of them I know today. I've just met the system center owner from Bountiful, Utah. The center is called Reenew Energy Wellness Center, and the Reenew is spelled R-E-E for EE System N-E-W. So R-E-E-N-E-W. And it's my honor. I've just been speaking to her for about 15 minutes, and I'm like, oh, we should start the recording. This is all too good. But it's my honor to introduce all of you to Cindy Toone. Cindy, welcome to the It's All Good show.
Thank you so much.
It is it's fun for me to do these interviews because, first of all, as a EE system owner, center owner, you have stepped into what's truly a role of responsibility in your community. And just talking to you, I feel the how the level of respect that you put into that and attention that you put into it. But before we get into all of that, tell us, how did you find out about EE System and what was your experience from the beginning?
Well, if it's okay, I'll kind of roll my health story into this as well. If that's okay,
Absolutely.
it's part of the
Absolutely.
story. So as a little girl growing up in Arizona, I was on a horse's back and I was bit by a tick. Tick climbed into my skin. And for most of my life, I've had a compromised immune system. I was always first sick, longest, strongest, harder than anyone else. Little did I know until just a couple of years ago that I actually have had Lyme disease most of my life. So I function fairly well, other than being sick a lot. But in 2017, I had my mother with advanced Alzheimer's come to live with us in our home. At the same time, I had our daughter, who was out of just going through a divorce with her three children, come to live with us. I also had our alcoholic niece come to live with us. So we went from empty nesters to six people living with us in just a matter of months. I was selling real estate. Within 6 months, I broke out in shingles. The stress was incredible. It was just really difficult. And I started a slow mental and physical decline, which when we lost mom in 2022, it was like somebody pulled the plug. I had nothing left. Nothing. I was just depleted. The Lyme shot up out of control. It often happens with a really stressful situation, and I'd had 5 years of stress, right? So I was, in fact, bedbound for a year from February 2022 when she passed until February of 2023. So about 2022, we were watching the viral video by Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. My husband and I were watching that. And as we watched it together, we both had a download from the universe, from God, and it was, you will open an energy enhancement center system. And so we went, okay. And so it has been acting on faith and saying, we know that's what we're supposed to do. And so even though I was sick and literally in bed, we moved forward. our kids helped us, and we got looking for a place to lease for the center. We were fortunate enough to actually not have the center be ready for a while. So we put the equipment into our basement in our home in February of 2023. Again, bedridden for a year. I couldn't go to church because I couldn't walk from the car into the church. My husband did the dishes and the shopping and the cooking and the cleaning, and I was also really depressed. So in February of 2023, we put the equipment in our basement, and my husband and I slept in an air mattress. Um, Everybody was gone by then. My daughter had gotten an apartment. My niece was in with her. Mom was not with us anymore. So my husband and I slept in that equipment from February to June of 2023. And by about April, May, I was from not walking. I had a hard time walking to my basement, right? When we first got the equipment. I went from that to being in at the center 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, hiring, painting, cleaning. It was huge. It was enormous, both mentally and physically. I went from depressed and stressed and really not mentally clear at all to sharp and functioning, and not just only walking, but dancing and singing and happy. So for me, it was remarkable. And we just feel that that is our mission, twofold, to share that with people. But I think first and foremost, more than anything else, is that every person who comes in our door knows that they are loved. They are of value.
That is just, this is why I like doing these interviews. I just love everything you just said. You officially opened your center in July of 2023. So
Right?
you're coming up now on the 2 year anniversary.
Right.
That's really something. And tell us a little bit about your center. Now, I know as I researched and had conversation with you that, I mean, events, other modalities, I mean, you're really, it's more than just, oh, come in and have the EE system experience.
Right.
And just what you just said, know when you come in here, you're going to be loved. And so give us kind of the overview of what your center is like. It's a 24 unit EE system. And tell us what it's like when we walk in the door, and then how you're running it, and the things you're doing for your community.
Well, we love the fact that it's a family business. So my daughter, who is now remarried and happy and is wonderful, is our office manager, and she is there a whole lot. She does most of the day to day. I'm always there on Wednesdays. I also do the overnights. I also host the events. So when you walk in, we do have some disclaimers for people to use and sign, because we have a lot of modalities. As we started putting our center together, we thought, oh, people need that. Oh, they need this. So what we're all about is first and foremost putting the body and the soul, the mind, into the right environment, because the body heals beautifully if given the right tools, right? We don't do it. It's the body that does it, right? So if you can put the body in the right environment, and that's what we're all about. So we have three different aspects that we work on to put the body in the right environment to heal. And the first is simply, let's know where we are, right? Where are we? What's our current health snapshot? We do not diagnose, treat, cure, any of that. We just simply say, these are some tools we have so that you can know what's going on. One of those is the AO scan, which gives a snapshot of viruses, parasites, bacteria, chakras, meridians, also an inner voice, which will help frequencies for emotions. And we can make custom-made homeopathics with that. So that's one of our snapshot tools. Another one we have is the BioWell. And so using Kirlian photography, you put each finger into, it looks like a pencil sharpener. It's actually a camera. It photographs the energy in the pads of the fingers, sends that to a database, and the report we come back with will tell what organs are what percentage and where are they functioning. Where do we need to focus? And as we look through the report, we can see if we keep seeing definite patterns, then we think this might be something. You might want to look at your thyroid. See, you got a thyroid here. We can see different things and patterns that people can choose and look at, right? So, along with that, we also have thermography at our center. So, briefly, thermal imaging is the study of heat in the body. So, when the body's distressed, it sends blood to the site. And on a thermal image, that looks like red, yellow, and white. It's inflammatory, is what it looks like on the picture. Green and blue are normal. So, with thermal imaging, which is no radiation, you can get a true snapshot again of what's going on with the body, where, right? So we send those images to a doctor, he evaluates them and sends a report back so that people can know what is going on so that they can decide what they want to address. We like to have people to be in the driver's seat and not look to somebody else to tell them what they're doing with their health, but to say, okay, I've got this, 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 and this is what I'll choose to do. So first and foremost, let's get a snapshot of what's going on with the body, and those are some of the tools that we have for that. Second of all is let's recharge the body. I don't know if you're aware of this, but actually the system, the energy enhancement system, communicates directly with the cells of our body. It's beautiful. Every single person who goes into our energy enhancement center says a couple of things. One is, I'm so relaxed. The body cannot heal when it's in a state of fight or flight. It just can't. It has to be in a parasympathetic state. So the frequency in the room is the frequency of a rainforest. So it's so calming. People love that. So that's what Dr. Sandra talks about, a rainforest frequency, right? So when they're in that room, they sleep, they take a nap, they relax. We do have overnight sessions. We see remarkable healing going on with people, remarkable turns with people's health when they do several overnights in a row. That's remarkable. So they also, I don't know, but most people may not know this, the body is actually electric. And each cell in our body has a millivolt charge. So the millivolt charge in our 24 system unit is, interestingly enough, 70 to 90 millivolts for each cell of our body. It just so happens that that is exactly what the body needs to be in its optimal environment. For instance, cancer cells have a vibration rate of 20. Their millivolt charge is 20. So as we feel depleted, as we feel diminished, as we feel like I was feeling, right? Bedridden, like you were feeling, right? That's because we've lost our charge, right? Our battery is really low. So regular time in the EE Center is, for me personally, a huge thing. It's still enormous because I give a lot and I still do have that diagnosis, but it's under control, right? Because I spend time in my own system and I do the things that we're talking about. So yeah, putting the body in the healthy spot place so it can charge voltage. Healing is Voltage by Dr. Jerry Tennant is an excellent resource. People can read about that and excuse me, see what they can do with that. So we have that. Then we also have a few other fun things. We have a lifetime vibe that moves the lymph. So it's again moving the lymph flow throughout the body because lymph flow is critical for our immune system. We also have Beamer, which is a class 2 FDA authorized medical device, which increases blood flow in the body by up to 30% in 8 minutes. If people have pain, they don't know have enough blood flow to the site, right? Sorry. Along with that, we also have a chi machine, which moves the spinal fluid in the spinal column. and opens the chakras. And we just this week have a new addition to the family, and that is a Megan bed. Have you ever heard of a Megan bed?
I have not heard of that.
I had not either. So you lay on a bed, and the bed has rollers underneath, and the rollers roll down the spine and under the legs, and then back up, and they stop along the way. So it's a combination of acupuncture, acupressure, chiropractic. And as the rollers are rolling along down the spine, under the legs, we have infrared light coming up through jade, which is a gem.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. So it's so healing with that infrared coming through the jade. Um, we just last week, we actually host a holistic practitioner networking association every third Thursday of every month, and we have a big group that gets together. So we had a gal there, and her hand was having a hard time closing, and we put that jade stone with that infrared light coming through on her hand, and within 15, 20 minutes, her hand was functioning again.
Oh,
So you see
gosh.
wonderful things happen when you can lessen the inflammation, right? Light is power. It's the power of the universe. So when you combine, we have so many fun toys. It's just so fun. When you combine all these things, it truly makes for, we try to be a one-stop shop. So I actually made a list because we have so many things. Let's see, we did oh, okay. So those are putting the body in the right environment, right? Raising the voltage. And then we're also all about detox. So
Very important.
yeah, yeah. So we have detox baths for people after spending time in the EES, and we also have ionic foot baths. And we find that that really is helpful for people, and it's really cool to see water turn different colors according to what organ in the body is detoxing. So that is pretty fun. We also have to aid people along their way. Um, we have a naturopath. She's this close to having her doctorate in naturopathy. She'll have it in the next couple of months. And so she is at our center and she consults with people. So she uses food, she uses supplements. She's an iridologist, she's an herbalist, she's also a registered nurse, and she's wonderful. So she can coach people in their healing path. And that is marvelous. We have a hypnotherapist at our center. We have foot zoners at our center. We have a rapid eye therapist. We have people who do EFT. We have nutrition and health coaches at our center. So, and we have a little room in the back where people come meet with people, and we have some office areas where they can have consults with our people. Let's see, what else do we have? We have yoga every Wednesday morning, and we really want our center to be a community center. So every Wednesday night, we have different holistic practitioners and different topics come in and present. So for instance, this next Wednesday, our naturopath will be presenting on the thyroid and herbs to help the thyroid. The one after that, we have a gal coming in and teaching us how to make our own yogurt and to ferment the yogurt for 30 hours instead of commercial yogurt fermented for 4, for instance. And we will learn what that does for the microbiome when you nourish the microbiome or the right microbes, right? So every Wednesday night, we have just a ball. We have people come in, we learn together. We have a big breathwork class in April. Will be 3 different nights. We have sound baths regularly. We have cacao ceremonies. Every quarter, we have a wellness festival. Our next one is coming up April 26th. We have 6 speakers that are amazing, speaking on everything. Our hypnotherapist will be speaking on sleep, for instance. We have a cancer survivor who will be teaching us about detoxing. Our naturopath will be teaching about organic gardening. I'm talking from going from a place of diminished and sick to a place of wellness, and what are some steps along that path that you can take, right? So we have holistic vendors come. So we have a lot of things going on.
It is, I don't get blown away very easily, and I'm a multiple modality holistic healing practitioner. You have blown me away. I feel like I didn't even go deep enough researching you and your center. I'm just like, and what I love is what I know, and that is that the EE system is providing this foundational energy that is amplifying everything else that you have going on. And I just think you are providing one amazing center for your community. I just saying one stop shopping doesn't even scratch the surface enough. You've got all the pieces together, and what I'm feeling is that it is incredibly empowering for your members. That it puts the control back where it needs to be, and that's in their hands. And wow, I really, we're going to be driving through there on our way back to Idaho, and I would love to stop off and see it, and maybe even offer up coming in on a Wednesday night just to talk about the things that I share and everything like that. You have so much going on now. You've been doing this for 2 years. Your own testimonial is incredible. Share with us some testimonials from your members over the last couple of years.
It is so amazing. And again, often healing is a multi-pronged approach, right? And you're right, the EE system is the foundation of that. And it's amazing to me that people will walk in our door for the first time and go, what is going on in here? Why do I feel so amazing, so loved, so warm? And it's because of our staff and our commitment to love. That's huge. But it's also because of the EE system and the frequency that is going for 2 miles, right? So yes, that is huge. Um, we have seen incredible things. We have, for instance, a type 2 diabetic. Maybe it's type 1. Scratch that. I'm not sure. We're not remembering. He comes in every Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and we have a wonderful testimonial video of him. And he says, if I come in for 2 hours every week, and he holds up his little blood sugar monitor, my blood sugar is like this. If I don't, it's like this, right? And that's all he does. He comes in and he takes a nap. Oh, I forgot. We also have an acoustic light wave machine in our energy enhancement room. So that has frequencies, 2,000 frequencies, which we can program for different health conditions. Like for him, we'll do the frequency of blood sugar or whatever he's currently working on. He has different things that he works on. So
Is this something you lay on, or?
No, it's a machine. So it sends the frequency within 6 to 8 feet and has a red light therapy going along with it also. So yeah, that's in the EE room. So I kind of tend to forget about that sometimes, but
I'm not sure how you could remember everything that you have going on. I think you've done amazingly well,
I
but
had to write it down.
that sounds great. Now, is that based on Rife inspired frequencies, or
Yes.
is it is? That's
Yeah.
great. Fabulous.
It
Okay.
has some new frequencies such as COVID. So it has a
Right.
COVID some updated. Yes. But actually, when I am spending the night in there, I will play the Lyme frequency, right? I'll play the Epstein-Barr. It's a co-infection with Lyme. So yeah, yeah. We have a woman who was born with 12 heart defects and has had numerous operations throughout her lifetime. She started coming into the Energy Enhancement Center. And when she started coming in, she's in her 80s now. When she started coming in, she had a diagnosis of heart failure. She goes in and she actually has the reports from doctors because they will test her pressure in her heart. And the last time she went in, the last few she's gone in, her heart pressure is normal. Her heart is fine. So for her, we also play the heart frequency on the acoustic light wave, for instance. And she says, I can feel that. I can feel that. So my husband actually had a 3rd-degree burn on his hand this last summer, and we would play the burn frequency. And he would say, I can feel that in my hand. So frequencies are huge. Albert Einstein said the future of medicine is medicine in the form of frequencies. And if we can believe and recognize that we are here, the future of medicine is here, people can be empowered to heal, to take the driver's seat, to be responsible for their own health, and employ putting the body in the right place, using frequencies, using modalities that are going to help that body and mind to heal. Oh, so you want
Go
some
ahead.
more?
Yeah,
More
sure.
tips
I'll
and
take
tools?
some more. Let's hear it.
We have people. We have a man who came in not long ago, had a stroke in his left eye. So he's had a fractured vision out of his left eye and neuropathy so bad. He was on major pain medication, major pain medication. And so the first time he came in, I actually put him in a beamer first. And I beamered his foot. That's where his pain was, neuropathy, and 1 foot. We only did 1 foot so he could see if there was a difference. So we beamered 1 foot and we beamered around his head for his eye. And when he was through with that 30-minute beamer session, he said to me, I would have taken 3 or 4 pain meds by now. Of course, he was in and he was getting the frequencies from the EES in the building, right? But he said, I am amazed that I am not taking that. So then we put him in the EES system. Well, fast forward a month, he did a testimonial at 1 month of coming into the center regularly. His vision is 100% in his left eye. It's no longer fractured. He has his pain meds are now cut in half. So that's substantial. He says, I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on different equipment, different modalities. I've spent so much less here, and I'm feeling so much better.
That's incredible. I never get tired of hearing the stories. I can't explain how everything works, but I'm the proof is in the pudding guy, and the pudding is, you look at your energy, look at how vibrant you are based on the story that you told us of just, 2.5 years ago.
Right.
And then what is so encouraging for me is that you have really set the center up as a resource, as a place where people can get information and learn about things. Now, I want to ask how it's been educating your community. I mean, it's mind blowing everything you have to offer. So I imagine people come in there and they're like, oh, whoa, wait a sec. I mean, it's one thing to try and understand the EE system, but then everything else. Are you finding that people are very open to learning, or have you found good ways to explain it and make it a little more available for people to take in all of this information?
Well, we do events a lot, energy healing conferences, women's conferences, and we do those. And we have found that we cannot lead with the EE system because people don't know what it is. They don't understand. So if we will have, for instance, our thermography machine there, and we can see people can see if their head is red or yellow or white or blue, then they will engage and see some things that they can put their fingers in and see, yo, look at here, liver stuff, right? I got some major liver stuff going on. Then we can start getting them in, and then we begin the educational process. And would you like to try this? Let's think about doing that. Let's look at things. I think, unfortunately, a lot of just regular people are still largely in a mindset of somebody else is responsible for their health and that they have to look to doctors and prescriptions and cutting. And that is our major quest, to train people to know, let's be responsible for our own health, right? And let's look and see there are things that we can do naturally. The liver is not going to have to detox. We're not going to have to heal from a surgery. We're not going to have contraindications and prescriptions working against each other, right? A prescription for a prescription, right? Let's put the body in the right environment.
That's so well worded and just articulated. Now, what advice do you give to people? I mean, all of us on some level are challenged with something. They come to your center. What's the foundational advice that you give them as they are very possibly taking a new journey of expansion into alternative holistic treatments?
Right. I think the biggest advice is put the body into the right environment, but don't expect miracles to happen overnight. They do happen, right? But for myself, it took 3 months, right? It took some time for me to turn around because if we're so diminished, if our battery is so low, it's going to take a while to recharge that battery. And so everybody is so different. An 80-year-old with diabetes is going to respond differently than a 20-year-old professional athlete, right? Everybody is different. And so the body will choose what to heal if we just give it the right resources, if we nourish the body, if we recharge the body, or if we feed the body and the mind with positive thoughts and not dwell on the negativity, on the what's wrong and what's going on, because our mind will believe what it's told. And so if we focus on positive, I am healthy, I'm well, I am vibrant, then we're much more likely to be that way, right? Then I am sick, I'm in pain, the world sucks, right?
Right,
Let's
exactly.
choose positivity.
That is perfect. Now, we've kind of been all over the place with a lot of different information. You have so much to offer. Is there anything that we haven't touched on? Anything you want to share that we haven't talked about? I can tell, by the way, that you're really good at this, and it makes sense. You do different trade shows and everything like that, and so you've found a way to be very complete in your dissemination of the information and everything like that. And I love it. It's a great example for all of us.
Thank you. I think the hugest thing is love. We need to love others. We need to love ourselves. We need to love ourselves enough to make ourselves a priority. We need to love ourselves enough that we'll spend money and time on ourselves, that we'll disconnect from the internet, from Facebook, from doom scrolling, and that we will actually put our mind and body in a place of healing. And that should be a quiet, almost sacred space so that the body can do what it is meant to do, and that is to heal. And so the mind and the soul can also heal. We need solace. We need solitude. We need that in our lives.
I I thank you for this and the things that have stuck with me. The big statement, commitment to love. And that may be what I titled this particular show, is commitment to love, because I mean, what I've done since January 2010, we've titled the Tour of Love. And I tell people we dress it up with the sound bowls and the this and the that and everything, but really we're just inviting you into this space so we can love you and hold a space of love for whatever needs to then happen. And you are that on like healthy holistic steroids. I mean, it's really something. I look forward to meeting you in person, and your daughter and the practitioners and the people that are supporting you, your community. I hope they know how incredibly fortunate they are to have you as the energetic pillar providing this, and you can feel your energy and your resolve and your motivation through your words and just what just comes from your heart and makes me feel really good to meet and connect with another person out there, out here in this crazy, sometimes chaotic, most of the time chaotic world, and know that you're holding this space in your community for so many people. I love all of the events. I love all of the different modalities. And yeah, you're in my neck of the woods. You are definitely going to see me, and I'm looking forward to that hug. And I just want to thank you, Cindy, for being part of this series on EESystem Center owners and to step up to be a guest on the It's All Good show. It means a lot to me personally, and I know people will get a lot out of watching this conversation we've had. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.